Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, with my pops.
How you doing, guys?
How are you
Hi,
doing?
fans. I'm doing great. Anytime we talk about boxing and TSS, it's nothing but positive and motivation. It makes me happy. I can talk all day.
There you go. So, interesting stuff coming out of the heavyweight division. That's all we talk about these days, seemingly, is freaking heavyweight division.
Wow.
But, Bob Arum, the Bobfather himself,
Wow.
chiming in, saying that Anthony Joshua is being used by Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing and DAZN, and that he should join the powers that be at Top Rank Incorporated. What do you think about that?
I totally disagree with that, man.
He disagrees. We're gonna get into the quotes before we dissect any further. Here's what Bob Arum said about Anthony Joshua and DAZN. He said, I quote, "Joshua is completely isolated because he has, in effect, been captured and rolled into this DAZN arrangement. This, frankly, inhibits his ability to make major fights and his ability to really become a factor. He's fighting in the U.S. against Jarrell Miller, but it's on DAZN. Nobody has DAZN. I think Joshua has been used. Joshua and his people should wake up and really join the world. He should finish up his contract with Hearn and join us. It makes no sense staying with DAZN. It makes no sense to deprive him of pay-per-view. If he fights in the UK, he can't turn that into pay-per-view dollars in the United States. That's because of the difference in time." End quote. To the Bob Arum hitting Eddie Hearn and DAZN and you know, way below the belt. He thinks Joshua should leave them, bolt them, and come to Top Rank. What do you make of that? What are your initial thoughts on that?
I disagree a lot with Bob Arum on that account because he's right now with those quotes that you say that he should come to pay-per-view. Why don't Eddie Hearn gives Bob Arum a call and ask him what happened to HBO? That's what's going to happen to Showtime. They're going to be out of business.
He's not on Showtime.
No, I'm saying as far as pay-per-view. My point is about as far as pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I know he's not in Showtime, but I'm getting at is pay-per-view is going to be out of business soon. Look at the short amount of time D&Z has grown with Eddie Hearns and what he's done and what he's still doing to promote it and to do what he's got to do. And I honestly think that Joshua leaving Eddie Hearns will hurt him more than anything else, because I think the best promoter out there to promote a fighter is Eddie Hearns. That's my own opinion, and the way he goes about it is the only promoter that I always see out there. Bob Arum is always either bashing somebody or bringing somebody down. Look what he did to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao left him, and then all of a sudden we see him again. They want to make a deal, they want to fight, this and that. I wouldn't even work with him, to be honest with you. I would not even work with him.
It's like the minute Manny Pacquiao leaves him, he's like, I blocked the Crawford fight. Yeah. Me, I blocked. Yeah, he didn't want to fight Crawford.
Yeah.
But when you had Pacquiao, you said, oh, my matchmakers were not confident putting Pacquiao in the ring with Crawford. So which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
And I mean, I'm not saying I'm disrespecting Bob Arum, because he's been in the game for a long time, and he's put some great cards out there, Top Rank.
Still is.
He's done the best thing with what he did with Al Heyman and PBC. But what I'm getting at is he's talking too much. You want to tell me that he can actually promote Anthony Joshua like what Joshua's doing in the UK and he's selling out, what, 70,000 or whatever, 80,000 stadiums? And
now he's headlining at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
he's not even 25 fights in.
And there was an interesting quote about that. I was reading, I don't know if I read to tell you, somebody came out and said that we'll see how good Joshua, based on the sale, if he even sells out Madison Square Garden. He was basically, the comment was basically saying that if he goes to New York and he can't sell, then he can't be better than the Bomb. And I'm like, get out of here, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I can speak from experience because I've actually seen Deontay Wilder fight in New York City.
Right.
I was there. See, a lot of y'all out there, particularly you Wilder fanboys, y'all say you like Wilder, but I'm a bigger Wilder fan than you are. I flew from here in my little studio apartment in Dania, Florida, all the way up to Brooklyn to watch Wilder fight when he fought Burn.
Yep.
And I was there, and you know, when you go to these basketball arenas, you have your lower level, you have the low level, and then you have the club level, and then you have the upper deck, the nosebleeds.
Right.
I sat in the nosebleeds, okay? And there's 4 points of the nosebleeds. There's here, and there's where I was sitting. Right. I would say that 80% of the nosebleeds were sectioned out. They put a big-ass curtain all over the seats because they did not sell enough tickets. I think Wilder sold about 10 or 11,000 tickets, and he's the heavyweight champion of the world from America, and he couldn't even sell 15,000 tickets in his own country.
And what's funny about the whole thing, Wilder been here in the U.S. for the longest time, and no disrespect to him, he's the world champion, but for the short time that Anthony Joshua was here to promote his fight, he was on TV, he was at a basketball game, he was doing all this.
That's Eddie Hearn's doing.
So tell me, How can Bob Arum say leave leave Eddie Hearn in the zone to go with him, please?
I mean, to be fair, he's not even promoting. He's got one of the best pound fighters in the world, in Terence Crawford, and he ain't even really promoting him like that.
Nope.
Like literally, we watched the Pulev Bogdan Dino fight this week, and that was the first time I saw one ad for that fight.
It's crazy.
For this big pay-per-view fight with Crawford and Khan, and that fight was signed a while ago.
And it's still, I agree with you on that. For some reason, they do. That's why I like Eddie Hearn. I don't care if people say it's like bullshit, but everybody bullshit. Excuse my language in boxing. You got to do what you got to do to get the people's attention or whatever. But at the end of the day, I do believe what he did say is that I will keep your boxers active. I will make you money. You know, not against Al Heyman. He's done a great job with PBC, but to me, since I've learned about them, that the fighters don't fight enough. Yeah, I guess they get paid enough, but they don't fight enough to make that big money. Come with Eddie Hearn and you see where you're gonna be. I mean, I've seen him sign some boxes, and the boxes are waiting in the next card. You know what I mean?
And the two things I like about Eddie Hearn personally, three things I would say. He is what his job, the title says he is, a promoter. Right. So if they say, oh, well, Eddie, I see people sometimes say, Eddie Hearn's in all these interviews, and he's always talking about this, and he's talking about that, and he does too many interviews. Yeah, because he's fucking promoting his boxers.
That's right.
All right? Like, for example, I wouldn't know. I'm in America, all right? I'm in America, you're in America. I wouldn't know who the hell Ted Cheeseman is if Eddie Hearn wasn't in every interview talking about his fighters.
That's it.
I wouldn't know as much as I do about Joshua Buatsi if Eddie Hearn wasn't talking about him. So he's got his boxers in people's minds. Like, I'm over here across pond in America, and sometimes I must admit, I've got Eddie Hearn's fighters in my mind sometimes more than our own fighters because I see him talking about his fighters so much.
Eddie Hearn is like an appetizer on the plate before you eat the full meal. He appetizes his boxers, and he puts them in the full meal in the ring to do what they do best.
Just fight.
Yeah.
And I mean, you gotta look at what he did with Joshua, right? We'll start with Joshua. He signed Joshua
from nowhere, right?
Not from nowhere.
I'm saying, well, the Olympic,
he won a gold medal.
I know that.
But he's taken him from the gold medal, and he's guided his career all the way to the point where, let's look at Anthony Joshua, right?
Yeah.
He's guided his career all the way to the point where he's not even 25 fights into his career.
And he's fought top level.
He's fought, he probably has the best body of work in the entire heavyweight division. When we talk about Anthony Joshua, that's what we talk about. We talk about a guy who has the best body of work in the heavyweight division overall. Let me pull up his record real quickly. I mean, so this fight against Miller is going to be his 23rd fight.
Wow.
His 23rd fight.
Jeez.
Okay? And I mean, this guy, Eddie Hearn's taken him all the way from pro debut to the British title, then to his first title with Charles Martin, then to unifying those titles with, in a big heavyweight classic with Klitschko. Then, now he's fighting, his 23rd fight, he's headlining at the Madison Square Garden. His 23rd fight.
Wow. Imagine
Madison Square Garden. Yeah. And according to in an IFL interview, he said they've already sold 16,000 tickets.
Jeez.
Already. And we're not even, we're just over 2 months away from the fight.
I'm telling you right now, like I said, Bob Arum is doing a great job, but I don't see any reason why Joshua should jump ship when everything Eddie Hearn's done has been good for him. He's made money there. He's made money promotional. Look how many promotional companies Joshua's in. You name me a top-ranked fighter that has so many promotional as far as the
sponsorships.
Yeah, sponsorships like Joshua.
Beats by Dre, Under Armour.
Come on. He's got JD, whatever it's called.
JD Sport.
He's got so many of them. And what I like about Joshua, he's a great fighter in the ring, and I love his personality. That guy, if you ever see him, he's always happy, no matter what the situation is. He's grateful, and he's always hungry, and he's going for what he needs to go to. But a lot of it's because he works in hand with
Eddie Hearn.
It all becomes a promoter. How many boxers we see today have a promoter, and they're the prime example, Andre.
Demetrius Andrade, yeah.
How long did it took him to get to where he's at now? If he didn't go with who?
Eddie Hearn.
Say it again?
Eddie Hearn.
There you go. What happened with Eddie Hearn? Right away, boom, put him in there. Other than that, he was how long out of boxing?
I mean, there was a period of time, 4 or 5 years period, where he's only fighting once a year. Sometimes he didn't fight at all.
So what I'm getting at, sometimes promoters are not doing their job. And it hurts the boxer's career. But with Andre, he actually made the right decision, got away from another promoter. He didn't disrespect the other promoter and went on, moved on to a higher level promoter who's going to actually sell him. And now look at him now. So that's my point. What's Bob Arum done to all his fighters? What's even PBC? What have they done for the fighters to promote him? Huh? The one thing I like about Eddie Hearn, he's very consistent in advertising, and he fights constantly. Go on Instagram or go anywhere you want to go. He's always putting something out every week or every night.
Yeah, and you might even say to yourself, like for example, they got a card coming up this week. I'm not really, I'm like Liam Smith is fighting Sam Eggington.
Yeah.
I'm not really that excited for Liam Smith versus Sam Eggington, but guess what? I keep seeing it everywhere.
That's right.
So guess what? When come Saturday, I'm gonna say, oh wait, isn't that Liam Smith Sam Eggington card on? Because Eddie Hearn he's been promoting it all week, and I'll check it out.
Yeah, and that's how it is with business. A successful business just don't sit back and expect the benefits and promotion to come in. They advertise all over on TV, this and that. And Eddie Hearn does that. That's why people know Eddie Hearn's name more than others. Right?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Eddie Hearn's name is more well known than a lot of PBC and Top Rank fighters.
Yeah, you could say. I mean, I think he's the best promoter, even over Frank Warren, even over Bob Arum, because they're doing it as a business. Those other promoters I just named are doing it as a business. They don't promote their fighters from their heart like Eddie Hearn does.
I sent Eddie Hearn a direct message yesterday on Instagram because he follows me on Instagram, but he never responds. So look, Eddie, if you ever see this video, you need to start stuff about stuff on these DMs, man. We
love you, man.
I'm in America. I've been I've been talking good about you for a lot of years now. I mean, least I can do is get a response. But I sent Eddie a DM yesterday because I watched a video on IFL TV, and he kind of started to vent about some of the frustrations he's having promoting boxing in America.
Right.
And he wonders, like, sometimes if he should change how he is to be able to better deal with some of the people in boxing here. Yeah. And I sent him a message. I said, no, Eddie, you don't need to change. In fact, you need not only do you need to say the same, you need to pour it on more. You need to be more like yourself. You need to, and I also told him, I told him the difference that I see in him from other promoters. And I don't know if I've ever explained this to you before. But Eddie Hearn grew up around boxing. His dad was a very prominent promoter. He was a boxing fan first, before he was a promoter. And a lot of times, like take Bob Arum and Al Heyman, for example, right? Bob Arum was a guy that was in law, okay? He's from Harvard. Same thing, Al Heyman was a Harvard businessman, okay? And they just happened to get into the boxing business. Now, I'm not saying Bob Arum isn't a boxing fan, but he wasn't a boxing fan first.
Exactly.
Al Heyman was not a boxing fan first. They are promoters who became boxing fans. Eddie Hearn was a boxing fan who became a promoter, and that's the difference.
Yep.
And I told him that's the difference between you and them.
And he understands the whole dynamics of being a promoter, how to treat a fighter, what to do to a fighter. Sometimes you might get like one thing that I like about him, and I have to agree with him. Dylan White didn't agree with him, and nobody else agreed with him. Is that he said Joshua started from the bottom. He took some shitty fights, but he didn't get paid big money. But you gotta do that. You gotta climb the ladder. And as the bigger the fights, the better the thing, the more you're gonna make money. So I have to respect that. He says what he's basically saying to everybody else, all those wannabe champions is, you gotta take the shitty fights and take the risk and move up. And that's what Joshua did.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they had to overpay guys constantly. They had to overpay Charles Martin. I think they paid Charles Martin like $5 million to get in the ring.
That was a joke.
They paid.
Could have got me in the ring for less.
They could have paid They paid Joseph Parker about like 7 or 8.
Wow.
Or no, it was mandatory. So they paid him. They added 5% to what the mandatory split already was, because it's about, I think, 70-30. So Parker got 35% of the purse split rather than the 30. And now Miller said he's getting about $8 million for this fight.
Well, that's him.
So
I mean, and that's why I get upset. And I think you brought in one of your videos where I totally agree with you with a bronze bomber. He's 34 years old. You don't know if just that one punch will come out and knock the shit out of him, and then he'll lose all that money.
Or if he'll mess his hand up, he got surgery on his hand.
Right. So I mean, when you got these boxers coming out and I want 50-50, dude, you're never gonna make what you're gonna make fighting Joshua. Period. With Bahrain, you're not gonna make what you're gonna make fighting Joshua or even Fury. And
you won't get what you want by beating. If you beat Joshua, you get more than you ever wanted.
Right, and it only takes one punch to ruin your career. Not ruin it, but bring it back. Look at Mike Garcia. He was so confident fighting Spence. Not against Mike Garcia. He did what he had to do. He went to weight class. I give him that respect for that. But he thought he could overcome that. He could do this. You can't. It just takes one time, and you just go back down and start all over, and he's still the champion, whatever. And that's what's happening with Bronze Bomber. And I'm not saying Brazil's gonna do it, but if for some ordinary, the sky's falling, hit him on a rock or something, he comes up, Brazil comes out and knocks him out. The $100 million you didn't want because you didn't know what.
It's not there no more.
It's not there no more. So don't take things for granted, and understand that you have to fight whoever you have to fight. to get where you got to be at that level, and that's you got to give that to Joshua. I'm not saying that Bronze didn't do that. I'm not saying other previous champs didn't do that. I'm just saying the fact of the matter is you're not always going to get the big money fights in the beginning.
No. And I would just say to end the video that or to get towards the end of the video, Bob Arum is way out of pocket here. I think he's way out of pocket.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
And you know, I expected him to start getting out of pocket the minute he signed Tyson Fury, because the minute he signed Tyson Fury, his whole everything towards the heavyweight division changed. Because people forget, it wasn't so long ago, and I might even pull it up while I'm in front of you just so you can see for yourself. Bob Arum was saying that Deontay Wilder should sign with the DAZN not too long ago and make the fight happen.
Well, not for nothing, he's a little old, so old senile, can't hear, can't remember things. So, I mean, he still knows boxing. He still got his, but it's that back and forth stuff like that is not good. Don't hate on the DAZN because they're doing better than you at a shorter time. Just don't hate on them. Don't hate on them because they have a better promotion on boxing 24/7 for the price. Don't hate.
I'm telling you, I think Joshua's gonna sell MSG, and when Joshua sells out MSG, it's gonna look really bad for Wilder. Like, it really is. Yeah, a guy from the UK came to America. His first fight.
The crazy thing is, like what you say, you go out in the streets and you'll say Joshua Wilder. I'm willing to bet that the high percentage of people know more Joshua than they will Wilder. I'm willing to bet that. I'm willing to put money on that. In New York, in the capital.
Well, you know, we should do that here in South Florida. We should just go to the beach. Let's go to Hollywood Beach one day and let's just go ask people who they know more, Joshua Wilder.
That's right. We'll do that. And we'll come back here to the sports and let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
And South Florida is not a small place, so.
South Florida's not a small place. I mean, we got beaches everywhere.
You got beaches, got all kinds of boxing gyms.
The mall.
You got all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah, you know what? We're gonna do that.
We're gonna do that. Why not?
Yeah, let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ.
Yeah,
so yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.
Yeah.
Wilder versus not Wilder.
No,
Arum. Bob Arum says that Anthony Joshua needs to leave the DAZN and leave Eddie Hearn so that he can go sign with Top Rank. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Day. So until next time, take care, guys.